So I've been thinking for a little while now about making a few short videos in which I review past vids and also give you guys a bit of a heads up on some of the stuff that we've got in the pipeline. So let's see how this pans out. Now, I hope you enjoyed my recent series on the Boss Mustang 302 factory race cars. I had a lot of fun putting that one together and I actually learned a lot from doing it. See, I've had a fascination with the Trans Am series for as long as I can remember. When I was a kid, my dad had a big book on American cars. It was probably called something like the Encyclopedia of the American Automobile. Back in the 1970s and 80s, people used to write books with grand names like that. Now, it featured all the American manufacturers, including those that had gone by the wayside, like Stutz and Duesenberg. Anyway, in the Chevrolet chapter, there was this photo of Mark Donohue in the 1968 Penske Racing Camaro. And I was just obsessed with this photo. Like, I kept going back and looking at it. I just thought it was such a great looking car. So I guess that's where my interest in the Trans Am began. I was already a V8 guy, even as a kid. See, back then cars used to race without mufflers, so they were really loud. They used to make the ground shake, like it was epic. See, back then you could get away with running without mufflers because most of the racetracks were in the middle of nowhere. But of course, that was back before people started building houses next to racetracks and then complaining about the noise. Now, I believe that in the US, grids of big bore cars were referred to as the thumper cars. And here in New Zealand, they were referred to as the big bangers, which is kind of the same thing. Anyway, I've written a few books relating to the Trans Am and the cars that competed in it over the years, but I'm constantly learning. And that's the fun thing about making these videos. You see, people watch them and then they offer more information. Now, one of the people who commented on the Boss Mustang series is a guy called Dave. And Dave was at Michigan International Speedway in 1969 when Horst Queck crashed his Shelby Mustang through the infield. In fact, Dave was right there in the infield and he suffered injuries from the wreck. Now, I highly recommend that you check out his recollections from that day. It's really an amazing read. You'll find his comments in part 1 of the story. He goes by the tag name of Rambler Dave. Anyway, we're continuing with the Trans Am theme with our next video, which is on the Mopar factory Trans Am cars. I'll split this into a two-parter, so I'll do the Plymouths in part 1 and the Dodges in part 2. And there are some fun facts in these ones, including what happened to a couple of the cars after the factory team sold them off. So all going well, part 1 should be up next week. So anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you when the next vid is posted. And in the meantime, tap that like button and tap that subscribe button. Cheers for now.